After I landed the drone, I decided to move the boat over to where it would be closer to where I observed the moose the day before. Here's a chart showing that move. Instead of the 1,200 feet to where I was shooting the video before, I wanted to cut that down to about 400, 500 feet. That's what this picture depicts. Once anchored at the new spot, I set up the tripod and camera up on the bow and waited for the moose to return. All right, folks, we're going out for the evening here to see what we can see. I'll turn you around here in a minute. Going to go around the edge of the place I'm staying at here tonight. And it was a layover day, and we were hoping to see a moose this evening, but that didn't happen. I pre-positioned the boat to be a little closer to where the moose came out yesterday. It says the recording was paused. I wonder what that was. Probably didn't get that recorded. It's blinking red, so. Not sure if it's recording now, but no critters, no moose. If it wasn't so steep there, you could pull in here with the boat. There's quite a few barren rock places here. Nice quiet evening, but other than the ducks, we're not seeing much. Okay. There you can see up in there in that woods how jumbled it is with trees pushed down all over the place. Tough to walk through something like that. Even the moose have to work. Well, I put a stern anchor out to hold the boat steady. Had the tripod set up on the bow. All prepared for the moose to come. The moose didn't show. Well, I tried to take a couple pictures and video with the drone last night, so I think that's probably what. Let me see if I can get the picture of this flower. The lily pads are really nice and flowering right now, so I'll see if I can get a picture of this one. I got it. Too bright sunlight in the background. Sun's kind of bright in my eyes, but try to get some shots of the boat here. You can see the tripod is setting up on the well. All right, let's go over it. Well, I wonder how much video I got. Well, good evening, folks. I'm finishing up the evening here. Just got back from kayaking around this bay. Waited this afternoon for the moose to come back. Earlier yesterday at 3 o'clock we saw a moose come out in the marsh area behind you. About 6 o'clock in the evening it came out again. It was actually a female, and we were able to get several pictures, but it was at a long distance, 1,200 feet or so. So I flew the drone on the second time to try to get a little closer shot, but I was surprised I couldn't get a closer shot without getting down close to the moose, and that would scare the moose too much. As it was, he could hear that sound and did walk back into the woods. It didn't like it, and I think maybe that was enough to encourage him to go over to the next marsh that's over across the way here. On the aft deck here, it's so far it's been fairly bug-free compared to what it has been, so that's a good thing. Hopefully that will also bode well for the cabin tonight. I got up again went to bed pretty early and then slept pretty good until about 11. I had to get up and kill some mosquitoes. Ended up putting some bug spray on my face and hands so I could sleep. They quit harassing me after that. However, in the morning I got up, there wasn't many around, so I don't know what happened to them. It certainly doesn't kill them, it just repels them. So I'm hoping tonight I get a good night's rest. Tomorrow will be the last anchorage for the trip that where I'm not in the marina. The last day I'll go in really early on Sunday to the marina. But tomorrow night will be our last anchorage out here in the wild. Hopefully that will go well. It's a beautiful evening, nice and calm. We've had not as much eventful a day as I had hoped. I did watch a couple of mergansers swimming around and fishing, looking for fish here, and I saw one catch a perch and swallow that thing whole. It was about a 4 or 5 inch fish. It was kind of interesting to watch. Unfortunately, I didn't get that on film. I got them on film, but not that particular incident. But it was kind of interesting to watch. It's kind of warm this afternoon. It's got up to about 77, maybe even higher here towards evening. It's so still now that it feels warmer. Been a really nice day. 2 days here, actually. There's a bald eagle. I saw second bald eagle I've seen that's adult. Unfortunately, didn't stick around, looks like. So I've seen more wildlife in this particular anchorage than almost the whole trip, other than a few ducks, I think one loon and some loon calling. That's about it. I saw what I thought might be 2 immature eagles, and I did see one adult just a couple of legs back. There's not near as many eagles on this lake as there was on Nipigon, that's for sure. I'll call it quits. There's not too much to share about this particular day because it was just a layover day. And a lot of waiting. I was kind of waiting for the moose to come out. I came up, we were right back over here, pretty much where you can see. There's a little indentation there. And that's where I was anchored yesterday. So I moved the boat up closer, hoping that the moose would come out again, trying to cut down that distance, get better close-up shots. And then I put the stern anchor out to hold the boat steady, so if there's any wind, it wasn't moving too much, because it's really hard to pan and keep the animal in focus if the boat's moving around. I got everything all set up, and then nothing happened. I pulled the stern anchor this evening just so that it can swing during the night. You never know if the wind's going to come up a little bit. You'd prefer it to swing if it can. I didn't see any reason to leave it down. I was pretty sure the moose wasn't coming back. Otherwise, that's about it. Cranking down on this particular trip, but this anchorage has been the most productive for wildlife on the whole trip. And it's, about 10 miles or 12 miles from the town of Long Lake. So it's it's a good spot. Now, I'm sure that some of the others I might have seen things if I'd stuck around for several days. Sometimes you don't see it. It's a little bit of luck to see the wildlife at certain times. You might be in a good spot and then nothing shows up. The next day there might be something there, but you're not. That's the way it goes. Anyway, the boat's holding up. Everything's worked according to Hoyle, except my autopilot was, as you have heard, was the one thing that was most disappointing about this trip in terms of mechanical failure. But I can't think of anything else that's been that hasn't worked well. I just noticed this evening that I was taking some pictures of the new solar arrangement on top of the Bimini, and I noticed that they were swaying a little bit. The weight evidently has caused is a little bit too much for the pieces of wood that I use, so I may have to come up with something stronger, maybe a piece of aluminum. So I may have to re-rig that this winter, come up with a better system. Those are some of my thoughts. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. I'll give you an update on the last major leg. We'll have I think the last leg into the marina is only about 2.5, 3 miles. So this will be 8 tomorrow, about 8 miles I think tomorrow. Decided to anchor just a little bit south of the town. There looked like a place that would be protected from the southwest winds that we're expecting to come tomorrow afternoon. No, nothing strong though. Everything's under 10 miles an hour, so it should be a good last 2 days of the trip here. Anyway, have a good evening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.